What's up guys, it's National Master Dem Apples here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can beat any chess player. Yes, even Magnus himself. Okay, maybe not Magnus himself. You get the point, you can beat almost everyone with this strategy, and this strategy comes from a book that I've read before. And it's called Chess for Tigers by Webb. And basically, I'll just cut to the chase. The strategy for beating anyone, even people better than you at chess, is to complicate the position. This works for a couple of reasons. First of all, in a simple position, a higher rated player is just way more likely to outplay you, and you're just going to lose. And second of all, the higher rated player is going to first of all, let's say you're down material and you're losing, right? You don't want to make more exchanges. You got to make the position complex, keep more pieces on the board, and just pray that something happens. Just because you're keeping more pieces on the board, you're keeping the tension, and that tension allows you to win a ton of games, and it saved me a ton of games as well. So, let's take a look at one of the examples in the book. This is an actual game between Geller and Korchnoi, both of who were really good chess players in the 1970s. And so Korchnoi is playing as black, and if you look at the whole game, it was basically Geller just pressing on the king side, right? And so Korchnoi is kind of bound up here. The position is still equal, but keep in mind, if black does absolutely nothing, he is going to get rolled here. So he has to create some sort of counterplay, and so he does so with bishop c6, and now Geller is moving his pieces towards the king side. Now, we gotta start up some sort of attack. He goes rook d7, controlling the d file. Not a bad move. Rook f3, and now b5. Black is starting a counterplay, just trying to complicate the position. It's not that black is losing or anything, but it's rather that black will be losing if black does nothing. So takes, and now white goes for b4. This is a bit inaccurate, but b4 it is, kicking the knight away, and now black has a choice. He can either go something like knight a6, allow the knight to come to e4, and although this is not terrible, it's like you're allowing the knight to d6, and you don't want to do that, because from d6 it's really powerful and attacks the pawn on f7, puts a tremendous amount of pressure on your position, and blocks the rook on d7. So you don't want that. And so the only way to not allow this to happen is to just complicate the position. And so Korchnoi here knows that not that Geller is a better player, but rather that if he doesn't complicate the position, he's going to go down. He goes knight d3, the best move. Why is this the best move? Well, first of all, white can take this knight for free, but then black is going to take here, and all of a sudden black is a decent amount better, because now black has the initiative, right? He's putting pressure on all these pawns, and this pawn on e5. And so white is going to be losing some material soon. So white plays knight e4. Again, it's also not like this move doesn't do anything. It attacks the knight, and it attacks this pawn. So after knight e4, queen takes pawn, and now the position is really complex, and Geller slips up. In complex positions, it doesn't really favor a higher rated player. I'm going to be honest, it doesn't really favor the higher rated player much. So, because they like simple positions, right? Easy to win. And Geller immediately slips up with knight f6 check. And the reason why this is a bad move is because after takes, well, white's attack is just toast. There is no attack anymore. White's only hope is to get in with the queen and go checkmate, but that's not going to happen. Korchnoi covers g5, and all of a sudden, white has blocked his own pair of rooks and has no counterplay. Meanwhile, black's going to go rook c4 and scoop up all the pawns and get some attack of his own. So you notice how Korchnoi just complicated the position, went h4, and actually Geller resigned here. Well, why'd he resign? Truth be told, Korchnoi is already up material, and after queen f3, which is practically forced, Geller is going to exchange even more pieces and win even more pawns. He's just going to like promote this pawn. So you can see how the momentum of the game just completely shifted after knight d3. Once you complicate the position, your opponent's going to be really confused at what's going on. And after knight d3, this is exactly what happened to a top like 10 player back in the day. Knight d3. Let's take a look at one of the games from the author himself. Now, this opening was crazy. Simon Webb, the author of the book, is playing as black against a player who's 100 points higher rated than him. More than that, actually, around there. So c4, knight f6, and the opening isn't super important. It was a queen's gambit decline. And then some weird stuff happened, and all of a sudden, white is just completely winning out of the opening. Queen a4, knight c6 is really bad. He should be going bishop d7, but that's not like an easy move to make. Knight c6. After castle's queenside, black is dead lost. And it's just because white has so much development, and he's going to take all these pawns, and your knight is just going to die. So after rook b8, which isn't even a good move either, knight takes d4. The engine is already giving +5 to white. I am not kidding. Black is dead lost. Knight takes, knight d6 check. Such a nasty move. Double check. The king has to move. Knight e4. Almost winning the queen. Here, takes. It's even material. It's only move 14. And after this, white is up material. Black has his king on e7 for whatever reason. This is a 2400 rated player. Playing as black, completely lost. And so he needs to complicate the position fast. He follows his own principles. What's the only way black can make any progress? f5, attacking the knight. Like, he's not completely winning, and he doesn't always play the best moves, but he gives himself the best practical chances by attacking and putting his opponent into uncomfortable situations. So now the knight is under attack. Queen takes pawn, white is up even more material. Rook b7 though. Queen check again, king moves, knight check, king g6. The momentum is slowly shifting over to black's side, right? You can see how black's on the attack, and white's just had to make weird queen moves. And all of a sudden, knight's under attack, and the queen is. Well, not really the knight, because if takes, then white would win the queen with a nice fork. But you can see black is attacking the queen here, and he's got momentum, right? Bishop b4, very nice move, keeping the momentum. And the position is very complicated. The position's always been complicated, but it's always just been for white through and through. Now, here, actually, white should have just kept it simple after this. And after f5, I mean, this was all fine and dandy, but like, knight g5 was a bit much, I would say. Again, this is all fine, and it's still fine. But after rook c7, you notice how black is just trying to complicate the position. He's not playing the best moves, he's just trying to give himself practical chances. With this move, he pins the bishop to the queen, and threatens some weird bishop a6 stuff, or maybe like he doubles on the c-file. You know, we'll see what happens. g4, and this is a bad sign by white. Like, it's not a bad move, it's the best move, but well, this is not white's priority. He's trying to strike on the king side, but this is not what he should be doing right now. He's trying to complicate the position for Mr. Webb, who doesn't even need to do anything. He can just sit back and watch white self-destruct. You know, bishop b7. Not the best move again. Pretty bad move. But he's activating his pieces. He's trying to complicate things. Rook g1 position is completely crazy now. Queen takes pawn. What the hell is this move? It's not even the best move, but it's complex, you know? White's rook is attacked. What do? Take. King f6. Well, I can't really take here because he loses a queen. Yeah. So king f6 is played. Knight h7, and white finally goes wrong. In crazy positions like this, your opponent's up 2 points, your king's in the middle of the board, and it looks like everything's coming down for you, you know? Sometimes there's just that glimmer of hope, and you're doing fine. So, white finally messes up with knight takes h7. What he should have done was just go here and realize that his knight is not hanging, because black cannot take this. After f4, white gets a discovered attack on the queen. I don't know why white decided to sacrifice the knight. I guess he saw a forced win, but now black is back in the game after making the position complex, giving himself chances. What do I mean by that? Well, he activated all his pieces. Look at his bishops, right? Look at this rook. Look at this queen. It's being annoying, all right? You might say, oh, he just tried to grab a pawn. Well, it's being annoying, right? It's putting weird pressure. And after takes, white is just slipping up. And after king f7, rook takes pawn. Now white is actually worse. Queen check, and you can see how active black's pieces are and how it's paying off. He goes rook to d1, which is actually a huge blunder. And when people are messing up, the momentum just shifts completely. They just keep messing up. And after rook d1, Mr. Webb plays the amazing move queen takes d1, and his opponent resigns because of the fact that he has no satisfactory way to take the queen after it's like queen takes. He will take the bishop here, and king b1 is like possible, but black is going to win the queen anyways. And also, white cannot take like this because after bishop to f3 check, white can block with the bishop or with the queen, but if he blocks with the bishop, he gets mated, so that's pretty bad. And so he has to block with the queen, but after bishop takes, and white could take with the bishop and get checkmated on h1 again, but after king takes and rook takes, black is completely winning, up 4 points of material, a piece, and a rook for some pawns, but the result is not in doubt, and so white resigned. So black goes from completely lost, decides to activate his pieces, just give him some sort of practical chances, right? Activates his rook, his bishops, right? And then goes in for this queen grab again. Not the best move from the engine, but the move that gives him the most practical chances. And eventually, we are all human, and the opponent messes up, and yeah, Simon Webb ended up winning this game in style. So this is how you can use this formula of complicating the position to beat any chess player. Of course, like if you're completely winning, you don't need to complicate the position further. It's just that if you're losing, just activate your pieces to the maximum and hope that something happens. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.